Welcome to the YOU'thentic Brandcast. I am your host, Kerstin Heuer. And in this Brandcast, we chat with entrepreneurs that have been building their brand by being fearlessly authentic. And with that, we want to inspire other entrepreneurs like you to lead with your heart and share your truth so that you can attract your dream clients without being distracted by flashy marketing tactics or your competition. Our guest today is Gina Hansen. Hi, Gina.
Hi, Kerstin. How are you?
It's so awesome to have you here. Gina is a certified emotion code practitioner. And I have met Gina a couple of weeks ago. I have been following her journey on different social media channels. And I thought, oh my God, I need this girl on my show here. So I'm super excited we can do this today. Hi, Gina. Do you want to say a few words about who you are and what you do?
Sure. Aloha, everyone. My name is Gina, born and raised in Hawaii. I had a career for 28 years as a flight attendant, and that all came to a halt last year with the pandemic and all. And I had a major life events, three major life events last year that caused me to leave my life behind and reinvent myself. I had no idea what I would do, and here I am today. I didn't realize that this was my path. I didn't think or analytically plan to be here doing what I do now, but I'm so thankful that everything came to me when it was the right time. And I'm happy to be here with you, Kerstin.
Awesome. I'm so excited too. And we will learn a little bit more about what that path is and has been. So the topic today is Skyrocket Your Brand by Releasing Trapped Emotions. And I have not only following you and your journey on social media, I also had a few sessions already with you. But before I met you, I actually had no idea what the heck are trapped emotions. And so let's start with this. Like, what are trapped emotions, and why do they maybe hinder us from being like true and authentic? What are those trapped emotions?
Yeah, thanks, Kerstin. So basically, we are all pure energy in a physical body. And our physical body actually talks to us. And every ache, every pain, every situation and life event that happens to us, there's an energetic reason behind why we are where we're at in our lives. So what I found was that these trapped emotions, which can range in the size of a softball, and it can actually be the size of a cantaloupe, they lodge in our bodies. And how they do this is basically if we have, say, someone dies in our life, or we break up with our boyfriend, or some kind of major life event happens, if we don't process that completely, that energy, that emotional energy gets stuck in our bodies, different parts.
Wow.
And over time, if we don't, because say like, for example, like we broke up with our boyfriend 5 years ago. So we think that's the past. He's history. I'm done. But you know what? Our body, our subconscious mind remembers everything. And so everything that you have experienced, even things that you haven't experienced in this life, which I mean like inherited traumas and even things that you've experienced in the womb, in your mother's womb, they're energetically affecting your life right now, today.
Wow. This is like absolutely mind-blowing. So when I heard this for the first time, I couldn't really wrap my head around it. That was like, didn't make really any sense. But because usually people say, well, time heals everything. So what you just said, like you break up with your boyfriend and then 5 years after you think, well, this should be like all good now, but there's still something maybe that we carry around and we are not, I think the thing is we are not consciously aware that there's something. We might feel weird, or in a relationship, if it's that, or even in a business relationship, there might be some things where we feel like I can't do this, but we don't really know why, or we can show up the way we want, but we actually don't know, like our mind doesn't have the answer. And so when I worked like with you on our 2 sessions, I learned that there is, and you just mentioned it, there is the emotions that we experience in this life, but there might be more, and they can be all trapped in our body somehow. So are there like different layers? Like there's our physical body, and like how is it possible that we release something that we can't even see?
Right. Yeah. Sometimes of course we cannot see it, but we can feel it. If we have a pain and we think, oh, the pain is because I fell down the stairs, truly, that pain is more than just the physical presence. There's an energy behind it, and it could be something that was lodged in that area of your body that is speaking to you now. So what I mean by that is we don't know what's going on in our body energetically until we have this communication, and if we're in tune with our body, we know something's not right. But in most cases, what it does is these energies they're all over, and our subconscious mind will actually move them to put them in layers around our heart to protect us, and that builds this heart wall that we have. And that actually is the biggest problem, because that stops us from being authentic. Number one, that's what you're about. This heart wall stops us from being authentic, stops us from connecting with people, stops us from having the success that we want in our businesses, because our body is just doing that to protect ourselves. And so there's these layers and layers and layers of energies that come out from us. And you probably know, like sometimes you're attracted to people, or sometimes people repel you, and that's their energy. And that's what they're giving out. So
Totally. Let's chat about this energy and how we show up. Like in our brand YOU'thentic intensive program, like the first part is about how you can become the charismatic leader that people feel attracted to. And this is, of course, all about energy. And in our conversation earlier today, you said, well, you can talk to people without even saying something. You can come across like with your energy and can attract people without using words. So like how does releasing those emotions help with that? Like to really stepping into my higher, the highest and best version of myself.
Oh, this is great. Okay. So there's scientific research and backing that shows that we can actually measure these energies and these emotional energies. If you've ever studied this, you'll see that the lower vibrational energy frequencies are shame, that resonates at 20 hertz, and then it moves up. So you've got shame, guilt, fear, all of those lower vibrational energies, and then the higher ones, you've got love, peace, joy, and all of those. And so what this practice is that I do is I'm able to help people get unstuck by releasing all of the heavy trapped emotions of these lower vibrational frequencies. It's kind of like a backpack with rocks that you're carrying around on your back over your life. You're carrying this heavy load. You don't even realize it until you take the backpack off. You put the rocks down and you're like lighter. You're more open, more charismatic, more impactful in your life, because you're your true self, because you're vibrating at a higher frequency, and people are attracted to you,
Yeah. So this pyramid that you just described with the different frequencies, now like this makes totally sense to me. Like you are just taking off all those heavy layers, and what is left is truly like my joy and everything that is truly me and that people really want to connect with. And this is probably how, when we are in this frequency and energy level, that we are attracting the right people, which then also, of course, helps to like there is the right people are already waiting for you. But if you have those layers on top of you that hinder you to show who you are and what you do in an authentic way, then those people that are already there won't find you.
Right.
So you are basically helping them to become this person, the best person that you can be, and on a business level, attract your dream clients.
Exactly. Yeah. It makes life so much easier when we can just be our true selves, and the connections that we have with each other, they're deeper than we even realize. We're all this collective energy. We're sharing this collective energy space around us. And for that reason, especially now with the pandemic and, you know, all that's going on in the world with so many levels that we're in right now, we are sharing this energy. Like, you are all the way, you know, in Europe. I'm here in the United States, and we are still sharing the energy of fear and, you know, worry and all of these anxiety, depression, you know, all of these things. It's a global energy that we're all a part of right now.
And that reminds me when I first came to Canada, 2005.
Oh yeah, you're in Canada.
Yeah, well, I'm from Europe, but I'm from Germany, so it's fine. This is my hometown in Hanover. And so, but when I came for the first time, and that was actually 2004, I came for the first time, and I was visiting my family that I didn't know. I just booked a flight. I said, "I'm your lost cousin from Germany. I'm visiting you." And so I was putting my feet in Toronto. So I was there for the first time, and from the moment on, I touched the ground and I was there. I felt this joyful and this freedom that I had never experienced before. So leaving Germany at that point, I felt like there was a big cloud of negativity and all kinds of things that I didn't want anymore. And maybe that was just I attracted it at that point in my life. But when the moment I came to Canada, I felt free and joyful, and I thought, this is where I want to live.
Right.
So, and this is, I think, what you mean, like with the collective and global energy. So I can totally feel that. And also, I have to confess, you guys, for everyone listening, I went through through Gina's session a few times. So I had like a generic session with her, and then I worked on another one. And the reason I did that was, like, first of all, I was curious because I wanted to find out, like, what are those trapped emotions? But also I had in business, I always, or oftentimes I felt I start like with great intention, and then before I actually do things, I start procrastinating, and, you know, it dribbles down, and sometimes I didn't even like execute. So I had all those great ideas, but sometimes I just didn't do it. And I thought, what the heck? Why is this? And I just couldn't figure it out. And also at the end of the day, sometimes I felt so frustrated with myself. And because first of all, I loaded too much on my plate to start with. But in the end, I felt it really heavy on my heart and in my throat. And I was like, I was so frustrated with myself. So anyways, when we did the session, I think you released 13 trapped emotions or something. 13 trapped emotions. And I thought, oh my God, like, where is this even coming from? And a few times, I think what showed up was inherited creative insecurity.
Right.
And this now makes total sense because like, as a creator like, if I don't believe in my own things, but I know they're good, like this, of course, like, how can this hinder you even more? So anyway, so after our session, I can say there is nothing anymore that is holding me back. I feel like a machine. So that it works. It works. And I have no frustration anymore at the end of the day if I don't get my things finished. But I think in general, I can say I have this unstoppable feeling of joy and belief in the things that I do, because I know they work, but for whatever reason, I just didn't execute it. Not all of it, but some. So like, do you have like any experience like for yourself? I know you have a super interesting story, Gina. Can you share that with us? You in the beginning you shared it a little bit, but how did you come to this point? Like, why? Like, what is it that you went through? And
Yeah. In 6 months' time last year, from February to July, is that right? Yeah. February, March, April, May, June, July, 6 months. Yeah. In 6 months' time, I asked my husband for a divorce. 4 days later, found out I had cancer, and then went on a holistic journey of healing in Mexico. And after that, I realized as I was away doing these treatments in Mexico, I learned so much, so many different types of things that we can do for our bodies, and how amazing we are individually and uniquely. And that time away, I had a ding in my, thoughts, where I thought, God, this feels so good. Even though I'm alone here in Mexico, I feel so much peace, and I feel so light having this treatment here. This is not a hospital. It feels like a resort. I'm on, you know what I mean? Like, so the energy of the space that I was healing in, I was like, this makes sense. When I go home, I need to leave. I need to leave. I need to find a place like this where I can heal my body. And so I realized the energy of our surroundings was important. And also some of the other techniques and things that I learned there. When I got back to the United States, of course, I could not have that caliber of treatment. I had to find things here and like put things together for my healing. And then ultimately, I left my husband. We've been separated over a year. And where I'm at now is so much more peace and love. And I mean, and I also had a heart wall with him. I was able to clear it. And because of that, we are able to be better parents for our son. Our communication has opened up. We're not as I think because I am open and more loving, he's able to approach me without feeling, feeling, I don't know, funky about that communication. So it has helped me in my marriage and my health, my healing. And then after that, I went into, in July last year, I ended up taking an early out retirement from the airlines because they were offering a package. And I really didn't know this situation. That the unknown of what my future would be like if I stayed. I knew that there was something else calling me away. I didn't know what it was. And so, like we learn through Kerstin and I are in a transformational coaching program run by Jim Fortin. And what we learned there is that there's so much possibility, and everything is possible. And also I put myself in this coaching environment with hundreds of people, and I was able to heal myself in that space. And slowly every day I was led to this path where I decided that what I could do is I could help other people who are in retirement. Say my old coworkers who were in a depression, much like I was, trying to figure out, who am I? Why am I here? Why did I leave a good job? Why did I leave a happy, I mean, not really happy, but why did I leave a good man? Like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it was just like all of these things were just like every day I would find the reason. And the reason was because I was able to help people. And then the next thing I found was this book, The Emotion Code by Dr. Bradley Nelson, where I had known that in my marriage that my husband had a heart wall. And it was something that is, I'm sure a lot of people have, like, for one thing, he was on a business trip. His coworker passed away suddenly. He was alone with him in a foreign country, and he had to go identify the body, arrange for his friend to come back to the States. And then his father died. He helped his father transition, and he was in a situation where he was going to lose his job last year too. They were transitioning transitioning him out of his job. So there's a lot of emotional things happening to him. And it wasn't just my relationship with him, it was his own life experience that was causing him to put up a wall in our marriage and just in his life, really. So knowing that, and I told him even before I knew about this healing aspect, that I said, you need to see somebody because I feel that there's this wall here. And then when I read the book, I'm like, there is such a thing as a heart wall. I knew it. I felt it intuitively that this is what was happening in our relationship. And so that book opened up my eyes, and I became certified. And it has been the most beautiful experience for me working with people across the world. Um, I am not niching yet. I am just open to learning how I can serve, and I can even help animals. So it's like,
this is truly amazing.
no.
So let's talk about like how have you been like for others that are maybe in a similar position, like pivoting after COVID. How have you transitioned or market yourself to this point? I have, as mentioned, followed you. And what I have been seeing is that you have been using the art of storytelling, probably intuitively, to really build your business, because you started not very long ago, but I know that you already have your calendar filled with clients. So I think this is super amazing. So how, maybe for others, maybe in a similar situation, like what have you been doing, and how did you take those people on your journey? Like, did you have any resentment, maybe the feeling of, oh, what do others say? Or did you just thought, I don't care, I just do what I feel I should do, and I take them on my journey, and then yeah.
Yeah. I have not been strategic. In fact, I really appreciate working with you, Kerstin, and your direction and your insight, because you have a bird's eye view. You're not in my business. So you can do this better. This would be great. This is awesome. This could be better, and that focus has been helpful for me. I feel really blessed to be able to have friends like you and others that are just saying like, this is great. We need more of this. I would like to have like a group membership. And this was something that was like, people tell me this is what they want. So slowly I'm putting this together based on what other people say they need. And also I am doing the work myself. I'm working with someone, our friend Cindy, who's actually working specifically on helping me build my business with Emotion Code by using Emotion Code to actually help me release the business blocks that I have. And that's been so, to me, that's more of a strategy, because we set an intention, a goal that this is so many clients that I want to work with a week. And when you just set that intention and you clear all of the things that are holding you back, issues of unworthiness, vulnerability, like knowing I would never.
Let's talk about this a bit more. So what are typical like business blocks? Because I think the emotion like code, what you said, it can go in so many different directions. So for us as entrepreneurs, like what are like typical business blocks, and how could I maybe recognize that I have a block? So any tips on like how we can recognize that, and what blocks can be released to really skyrocket my business and brand?
I guess for the analytical person, you can look at your numbers. You can see if there's if it's become pretty stagnant, or if there's, if you see that, you can notice the numbers. Maybe, and then you'll know that there's a block. Money is energy. We have blocks on money. We have blocks on worthiness. Am I deserving of this compensation? Am I, so there's a lot of negative self-talk too that could be stopping us, those blocks that tell us that we are unable or incapable of being a business person. I think that for me, that was my biggest block, because I was a flight attendant. I was providing a service for over 28 years. I had no business background. I was not even woo-woo. I never considered myself woo-woo at all. So now I'm stepping into this new space that is so awkward for me to talk about energy and stuff. Like, it's a whole new level of thought, of being, and also just this the whole money thing too. Like what do you charge? Like, I'm my own boss now, and I can, what is the value that I'm providing? All of those things that come up, and over time, everything just fits perfectly together. But it's a process of releasing a lot of the things, especially the ones that are inherited, like you were speaking about, Kerstin, that inherited creative insecurity was a fear, not trusting yourself to develop or create relationships, business, whatever it is. That is a creative insecurity. And that's a big block for people. I worked with somebody who was an artist that was having that problem. And to produce, to be creative and to have a block there, in what you're putting out is it definitely needs to be cleared in order for you to make money. Because as a business person, that's how that's what you're here to do. You provide value. It's your energy you give out, you get back. It's this constant give and take of energy. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. And so I think there is a lot of talk about building your brand is about storytelling. And I think how I have experienced you are really executing this part of your marketing. So, and I think this is also inspiring for others to hear, because you have been taking your potential clients or people that felt attracted to you, like me. I didn't know what you were doing. I just really liked your energy, first of all. And then I heard these stories that you were sharing. So you took us on a journey from, I don't know where it started, but I was always excited to hear, oh, is there a new video that Gina created? What can I watch today? What can I learn today? And I think this is like really a great strategy that also takes a lot of bold movement and really getting rid of your fear and also being vulnerable. But how has this worked out for you? Like, do you find that you are finding clients and connecting through this? Because you are sharing your own story, but also you are sharing like other people's story. Like, is this really like a good marketing strategy when you maybe you can share about this for others that are thinking about, can I say this or not? Like, do you have like things that you are there no-goes, or like are you intentionally setting the stage and say, okay, this is what I'm talking about today? Like, how do you do this?
Yeah, well, there's definitely so much room for improvement and consistency. Yeah, I'm still building the habits, those important habits of and getting the systems in place, moving from one booking company to another CRM, so there's a lot of aspects that are happening. And I know that there's definitely more stories that I can share about this transition, even just as being a business person all of a sudden. So there's a lot of growth happening for me right now. And there's definitely a lot of stories, personal and amazing stories of people's lives that I've been working with. You personally, you have your life, you have your life experience. And when you're able to work with other people that have totally different experiences of life, it just makes you more grateful and more thankful that you're able to be of service and to help people out of their situations. There's so much going on in the world, and just to be of service like that, and the stories that I am able to witness firsthand they inspire me, because it shows me that, you know, like this one of the ladies that I work with, she's an influencer and on Instagram, and her situation, she had a lot of crazy things happen to her, and working with her enabled her to actually like take her life to the next level. And that reach that she has, her she's become more magnetic. And like the business that she's brought to me because of the interview that she witnessed, she didn't even know about me, but she, you know, everything happens in divine timing. And she happened to be on Instagram. She witnessed my interview with someone she was following, and then after that I interviewed with her. You know, she interviewed me on Instagram, and then she's the one that pretty much brought a chunk of people my way in the United Kingdom. And it's just I mean, it's just awe-inspiring to realize that we can connect and we can have these relationships with people all over the world. And sometimes the sessions that I do, I don't even have to be physically with the person. In fact, this afternoon, someone wants me to work on them. They're going to do a meditation and then go to sleep as I work on them. Like, whoever thought of this? Like, this is amazing that I'm able to provide this energy healing to people across the world. And yeah, it's just, I think for me, my excitement is the story, like the story of how I am just wowed at our bodies, at what is so possible for us to release the past so that we can move forward in our lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're totally right with that. And what and that proves also that you mentioned systems and you can be better at this and this, but these are all tools and tactics. If you can have the best tools and tactics in the world, and I speak from experience when I say we have spent around $10,000 at one point in funnels and marketing systems and all this stuff, and it didn't do anything. It didn't do anything. And the reason was I wasn't showing up in a way that connected with the right people. I wasn't there with my energy, and I wasn't there in like believing in the things that I wanted to do. I hadn't really identified I had identified who I wanted to work with, but I didn't go full in. And the moment you change that and you set your focus and also your energy to that, and if there are trapped emotions, they need to be released. But in that moment, everything changes. As you said, people suddenly recognize you. You are on a show, on a podcast or on an interview. So another person sees you. They interview you. Like, it's a snowball effect.
It's a snowball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean when I talk about we need to show up as authentic as we are, like, and building our inner brand first, because everything else is just systems and tactic. Like, this is like the strategy around it. But if we are not showing up as a business owner and in a way that truly connects in that moment, or everything else doesn't count.
Exactly. It's so what you're saying is your marketing, your branding is an internal thing. When you connect to your authentic self, you're able to attract more business to you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, and and I think this is why I felt so attracted to your energy and everything that comes with it. Awesome. Anything else, Gina, that you have on your heart that that somebody should know? Any like a tip on how maybe to get started and to maybe find out, is there anything that might be released? Are there any tips and tricks how we can recognize that maybe?
Well, I mean, pain for one is a physical, like any pain, any stiffness. This heart wall here can affect this area, this whole area, your shoulders, your necks. If you have any, sometimes you sleep funny and you think I am in pain because of the bed, because of my positioning, but there might be an underlying reason, an energetic reason why this is calling your attention. So pain would be like probably the first thing, is to check in with yourself, find out how you're feeling every day. In fact, what I like to do in my sessions is I like to work with people and find out on a scale from 0 to 10, how severe are the aches and pains and stuff, and love to work on them, releasing these trapped emotions. And then at the end of the session, go back to this question and find out, now on the scale of 0 to 10, how do you feel? And it always lessens. So it's proof, in my opinion, that that we can put a number to how we're feeling, and we can see the results shift when we release the trapped emotions.
Yeah, totally. So, so for everyone listening, wondering if they might have trapped emotions, so listen to your body first. Like, are there any like pain that comes up, maybe even chronically, that are trapped in your body? Because as I have learned also, like every emotion that we have has a place on my body somehow. And then also, I think if there's any repetition, for me, for example, it was that I felt like I was constantly hitting a wall, but I didn't know what the heck is this. So is there anything coming up for you that you might think, okay, this is hindering me and I don't know why?
Exactly. Okay, I have another story to share with you then.
Okay.
One of our friends, she spent thousands of dollars in learning about, again, like you're talking about funnels, in the sense that, like she wanted to create this course and pivot in her business. And she built this amazing course. It's beautiful, but she needed to sell it. And so she was not moving forward with the webinar to tell people, this is what I did, this is how I can help you. And so in working with her, what I found was a lot of that stuff was inherited. And our ancestors have gone through so much, like wherever they are in the world, there's so much war and pain and different things. We're also feeling it at a different level today, but we're carrying this stuff in our DNA that is stopping us in our businesses, from our ancestors, that once we are allowed to recognize, and I clear it from you, not only does it help you, but it releases the energy from your ancestors. And sometimes it goes back over 30 generations of this energy that's being passed down to your children, to your future children. When I find an inherited emotion and I release it, it clears your ancestors. It clears the children that are yet to be born in your family. This morning, I was working on someone in Switzerland, and when I found a trapped and inherited emotion, she actually is an energy healer herself. So she can calculate her brother. She worked on her brother. As I was working with her, she said, my brother is angry. And so she tested him, like, how big is his anger? She could measure it. And then after I cleared her, she said his anger went down more. I mean, this is something that I cannot do myself, but she's an energy healer in a different type of pranic healing. So she knows the tools that can help her recognize this in her own family. That is not, when I'm working with her, she's also helping her family members. It's amazing.
Wow. This is so cool.
Yeah.
I'm so glad, Gina, that you followed your inner voice and that path, and that you are able to help many more people in this world, like releasing trapped emotions and really becoming and following the higher self that we are all meant to be.
Right.
And so I think I would love to. This is like a great. A great ending for our today's session. If you want to, or I invite you all, everyone listening who's listening to our brandcast today, follow Gina on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. She is amazing with the work that she does. And I don't know if you have, I know you don't have a program coming up, but you're doing one-on-one sessions right now. Is that correct?
I am. And
yeah.
Because actually right now I'm in the process of, I just yesterday moved my son into his dorm room, my only child starting college. I'm going to be an empty nester. And so my focus has been on getting him prepared. And in the next week, I'll be back to work, changing out the systems that I need to actually make my business more efficient. And then I'm excited about the next phase where I'm going to probably move into a membership. And yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome. So so people connect with you through the social channels that I have posted here. And thank you so much, Gina, for joining us today at our YOUthentic Brandcast. And I hope you will help many more people to release trapped emotions so that they can speak their truth and connect with the people that need their help. Thanks so much.
Thank
Bye,
you for
Gina.
having me, Kerstin.
You're welcome. Bye.
Everybody, aloha.